welcome. Today we're talking about motivation. In particular, we're talking about staying motivated to maintain your fitness during COVID-19. So many things have changed. A lot of us are at home. We don't have access to our gyms or our fitness programs. The things that we used to like to do, maybe as a group, we can't do anymore. And I really wanted to do this just because I have noticed so many people that I talk to saying they're just not participating in their own fitness because they're unmotivated. They cannot find the motivation to move, to do the things they used to do the things they want to do. So I wanted to talk to you guys about motivation. What is it? If you lost it, how do you find it? And how do you get it back? All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, sorry guys. If you don't know me, my name is Janelle. I manage the UC Living Fit Forever program. I am a health educator. Sorry. I'm also a certified personal trainer and a certified health coach. So here, I know some of you might feel like this little guy sitting on the chair these days, feeling unmotivated, noticing that you're sitting a lot more often than you used to. So let's talk a little bit about what motivation is. Motivation really relates to desire, your desire to or not to do something. There's kind of two different types of motivation. Extrinsic, what happens outside of you. Sometimes it has to do with what other people say or think. It can also have to do with the outdoors, the weather, what's going on outside, what's going on directly outside of you in your home. Maybe you don't have equipment. Maybe you live in a small space. Maybe you just really miss the gym or your friends, people outside of you. Those can be extrinsic reasons why we do or do not work out. Intrinsically is really about how we feel. Some people are feeling depressed, sluggish, just kind of out of sorts right now. Sometimes we work out because we like it, because it's enjoyable at the time. Sometimes we work out because we like how we feel afterwards. Sometimes we work out because we want to feel better or look better in the future. There's always reasons why we do or don't do things. Sometimes we are motivated to sit on the couch, and there are reasons why we do that too, right? So a lot of times it's about just changing our focus, choosing to focus on those things that are more positive, choosing to kind of look at ourselves in a different way. And when we tell ourselves that we're not motivated to work out, that we're not motivated to go outside, sometimes what we really need to look at is our why. Why am I not going outside? Why am I not feeling this? Why should I work out? Why even bother? Maureen Craig is a yoga instructor here with us, and often in our programs, she talks about the why that makes you cry. I was thinking about this specifically this weekend. I have a granddaughter who's almost 4, and she is into why. I know a lot of us have small children, and they get into that point where they just are constantly asking, but why? But why? And then again, but why? And I really would like us to use this when it comes to our why. We can think of a lot of reasons why to work out, and probably a lot of reasons why not to work out. Sometimes when finding that motivation, it takes to find that why that makes you cry. And what that might look like is saying, okay, why should I work out? I'm getting heavy. I'm getting lazy. I know that my body needs it. I tried to walk up the stairs the other day and I found myself panting hard. But I would like you to continue to ask yourself why. Why do you want to walk the stairs? Why do you want to be able to move around? We might look into more of the, I'd like to be able to chase my children around, which when we say why do you want to chase them around? Maybe we get into, because I love them so much and they're growing so quickly and I don't want to miss out on their lives. Maybe we get into that, if I don't chase my kids around and I miss out on their lives, maybe it'll get so far as to where I'll need medication, or I might be kind of risking my own life and my own health, and really finding that why that brings out your emotion, that really touches on your actual, real, personal reason of why. That is the way that we find our motivation. We want to find a real, serious, touching reason why it's important for us to move our bodies. When you find that why, you want to focus on that why. And if you're having a hard time with it, just keep talking yourself through it. Choose positivity. Choose to focus on those things that help you to meet your goal. If all your goal is right now is finding motivation, look at your reasons why. Look at your reasons why it's important and find that why that makes you cry, that why that touches your spirit and your soul and is going to make a real difference in your life. That is your why. So once we find that why, then what? How do we get motivated? Okay, we've started inside. We're looking at extrinsic, intrinsic motivation. Now what? Well, first and foremost, be kind to yourself. It's not easy to get back into working out once you've stopped. Your body is deconditioned. You're going to find yourself heavy breathing. You're going to find yourself a little more sore than you were before. You might even feel like you're starting from the beginning. So first and foremost, once you find that why that makes you cry, be kind to yourself. Do loving things, whether you start with working out or you start with just taking a short walk. Start with being kind to yourself. Don't push yourself too hard. If you push yourself really hard at the beginning, it's going to be most likely that you're not going to follow through. You're going to make your body sore and you're going to find yourself kind of doubting yourself. And what we really want to do here in pushing our motivation back up is to be kind to ourselves and take it slowly. Remember your why and start small. Set a goal. Make a plan. We're going to talk more about this goal and plan situation a little bit later, so don't feel like I'm just glossing over it. Don't worry, we're going to talk about it in more depth here coming up. Break up your goals into smaller goals with a time frame. Don't just leave it open-ended. Set yourself small goals with time frames and set yourself up for success. If you set yourself up for 2 workouts a week and that is your goal, if you only plan for 2, but you only do 1 or none, that leaves you with the opportunity to feel like you've failed at your goal. If you set yourself up planning 5 workouts and your goal is 2, you have a much better chance of hitting your goal. If you set yourself up for success, planning on more than you really wanted to do so that you have it in your schedule, you know that it's possible, and you can really adjust your schedule when those things come up to make sure that you can succeed at your goal. Think about rewarding yourself with things that aren't food. This weekend we went for a walk, and one of my favorite things to do at the end of the walk is to go by the pet store and go in and listen to the birds chirp and look at the fish. And I sometimes walk with my granddaughter, and that's a reward for me. So finding those things, often we reward ourselves with food, but even just making a list of things that you like to do or would like to reward yourself with after your workout can be really helpful in keeping yourself motivated. And I like to say often, a body in motion stays in motion, and most of us know that, but it is really true. And to just start yourself moving and continue moving your body is really going to help you to stay motivated. If that's all you're doing is just walking and staying moving, you're doing a great job. Be kind to yourself and let that be at the beginning of your process in getting back to where you were. So when talking about finding your why, let's talk about the why. You can see that there's a question on the left, why is fitness so important? And we have a long list of reasons why fitness is so important. It improves your mood. It boosts those endorphins, right? Helps us to feel better even if we're cussing the whole way through our workout. Usually we feel better afterwards, if only just telling ourselves that we're so proud of ourselves for doing it, for making it through that difficult workout. The boost of endorphins also reduces our stress while improving our mood. Working out, I think a lot of us have the experience that when we work out, we sleep a little bit better. Maybe we fall asleep a little bit easier. We can take the time to work out and forget our worries. I know a lot of times we have some people that like to cuss their way through the workout and really have a hard time, but they're sure not really thinking about the things going on at home, right? Um, in yoga class, we often do meditation that kind of helps us to forget our worries and take our stress down a little bit. We have a lot of stressors, a lot of new and different stressors going on in the world around us. And to just find a workout, a time period. We also have some meditations on our UC Living Fit Forever YouTube links that are just meditation that we can look at and listen to and just help to bring our anxiety down. Sometimes we need to reduce our anxiety before we can plan anything else, before we can put anything else on our plates. We need to really reduce that anxiety and take that off the table so we have room for something different. Your cardio and your strength training helps to keep your bones, muscles, and joints strong. Keeping them moving keeps them limber. It helps us to not have as much joint pain during regular movement. Practicing balance helps reduce our risk of falls. Working out also helps lower your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and your risk of heart attack when we work the heart. Fitness is great with weight management. A lot of people are talking about that COVID-20, putting on that 20 pounds because we've been at home. That's a real thing. People are gaining weight right now staying at home. That can also increase anxiety, right? Nobody likes walking around with extra weight on their body, and it can hurt. It can cause the body to be a little extra sore. It can be hard to move around the way we once did. Weight management is important for a lot of reasons, including the way we feel about ourselves. That movement, the physical activity, can flush bacteria out of your lungs and airways and really help us to maintain a healthy respiratory system, which is so important right now. Everybody is taking so many precautions to be safe, and I think that fitness is one of those that we should all be doing in some way or another. So, okay, we know that exercise is important. What do we need to do and how? It's really hard to make a plan if you don't know what you're planning for, right? So our 4 main basic types of exercise are cardiovascular exercise, strength training, stretching, and balance work. Sometimes we get all of these in one class. If you take a boot camp, it's likely that you are doing all of these things. You should always be stretching after your workout. You should be warming up before. And a lot of times you can find workouts that have all 4 things in them. If you are looking for heart health, if that is your biggest concern, it is suggested by the American Heart Association that 30 minutes of moderate intensity cardiovascular exercise a day or 150 minutes per week is appropriate for heart health. If you are looking to see changes in your weight, if you are looking for weight loss, if that is a goal of yours, then it is suggested that 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity exercise or 75 to 150 minutes a week of vigorous intensity exercise each week would be needed to see changes in your weight. When it comes to intensity, moderate intensity, you should feel comfortable talking to a friend if you were working out together. Vigorous intensity exercise, you would have difficult time having a conversation with somebody with you. So that's kind of the way when we talk about intensity, different type of testing of intensity. The talk test is a good way to tell how intensely you're working. So those are some tips to check on yourself and just see how intensely am I working? Can I work more intensely, and what would that look like? So having a conversation, if you're alone, nobody will know, talk to yourself. See where you are on that talk test. Are you able to hold a conversation? Is it a little bit difficult or is it very difficult? You want it to be minorly difficult if you are doing moderate intensity exercise, and very difficult to hold an entire conversation if you were doing vigorous intensity exercise. Strength training, it would be appropriate to do 2 to 3 or more times weekly to keep our bones, muscles, and joints strong. And stretching is important. After exercise, every time you exercise is a great idea. If you're taking classes with us, you should be led in a stretch after your workout, whatever that workout may be. If you're not, if you just want to look to get a good stretch to keep yourself limber and healthy, 3 times a week is generally a great idea. And then balance at least 3 times weekly. And if you're doing regular exercise where you're jumping from side to side or you're standing on one foot, any of those things are part of a healthy balance practice, so to speak. Yoga is a great way to get your balance. And we also do offer balance classes here at UC Living Fit Forever. And sometimes you can find them at other gyms as well. So now that you have that information, you might be saying, great, I would love to, but I like to work out in my gym and that's where I'm motivated to go. Or I like to work out with my friend and we can't get together right now. What can I do? We are socially distancing. We have to worry about how far apart we are. Are things clean? Can we touch the same things? I like to point out this picture at the bottom on the right-hand side. I included this picture because you can see that it is a computer monitor at someone's home. You can see they have some stuff on their couch, and then there's all these friends. This is actually a recording of a Zoom video that Lori and I put together, and these friends all zoomed in together and played this recording and shared their screen. So although they couldn't do the class all at the same time when it was being offered in Zoom, they found a time that worked for them, and they got together, all these 5 friends that don't get to usually see each other, and they did the class. Some other options, some ideas that you might want to do when working out with a friend besides zooming into a class together. You can wear your masks and distance. You can zoom in and do a workout. Maybe you find a YouTube workout or something else you like to do, or maybe you just find a workout, maybe like the one that A to Z workout I sent out, where you can just do each exercise back to back and zoom in with your friends so you can see what each other's doing. If Zoom works for you, maybe that's something you try. If you like to be outside, maybe you like to bike ride, walk, run, swim, play with your kids or your grandkids. A lot of the playgrounds are open now, so running through a playground can be a lot of fun. There is a lot on YouTube. Not only are we posting workouts on YouTube, but there's a lot of programs that you can find. And I listed a few. You're more than welcome to go through YouTube and just see if there's anything that works for you. But there can be some different things that you can find there. While at home, it might be necessary for you to look around your house and put together a space where you can work out. I know that I didn't really have a space in my house that was big enough to work out, and we had to clean out the garage and the shed and make space. We also need to have equipment ready. Once you have space, you might not have everything you need. Maybe you need a mat. Maybe you need to get a hold of me and get a free mat so you have a yoga mat at home. Maybe you need to check out what you have around the house and put some weights together that you can use. There is a video that we've put up a few times about weights you can use at home, and we're using water bottles and cans and jugs and old milk jugs filled up. I've gotten a few messages about how funny it looks that I'm standing there doing that, but I feel that it's better that than nothing, right? I found myself when I did the last upper body exercise, actually finding myself sore the next day just because I haven't gotten the same strength training as I'm used to. So finding those things, no matter how funny it might look or feel, I think it's just important to be open to new and different things. This is all new and different for us, and these are all things we've not been through before. So just looking outside our little box of what we're used to and being willing to do different things might be something that is really important to just set yourself up for a great workout that you can do at home in your own space. Creating and maintaining that routine, setting goals, it's really, really important to do what you love. If you don't love it, it is highly unlikely you're going to be able to maintain it. If you love to bike ride, then that should be the thing you focus on. If you love to dance, then dance away. Do what you love to do. Try things that aren't maybe your forte. Maybe you will learn something new, but really focus on those things that you know that you like. And even more important, I think, than all of the other things I've mentioned is connection. I know that a lot of us miss each other. Make a phone call to somebody that you miss in class. Make a plan to go out with your friends, connect with your family, stay connected to other people that are like-minded and have the goal of fitness in mind like you do is really going to help you to maintain your own fitness goals. So let's talk about goals. I really encourage you to write them down. It is fine to have a lofty goal. I can't tell you how many people during health coaching I sit down with at first and they say, my goal is to lose 50 pounds. Great. Let's write that down. You want to lose 50 pounds. It is highly unlikely that tomorrow or next week or even next month, that is going to be the goal that you hit. So then we break them down into small, manageable steps. If weight loss or even weight gain, gaining extra muscle is your goal, you're going to want to do small steps, something that is appropriate. If you wanted to lose weight, then planning for maybe 1 pound a week, maybe 2 would be a great small goal to break that down into. Include your why on everything that you do. You want to always go back to remembering your why, remembering why this is important. Where does your motivation come from? What is that why that makes you cry? What is the reason that moves you? Keep that in mind while you're making these goals. And once you have made maybe a lofty goal and a few smaller manageable goals, share it with someone. Talk about it. Don't let this be a secret. Talk about your goals. Let people know, people that you trust, people that can confide in you, and people that will check on you. The more you share, the more real it becomes. The more people ask you about it, the more you're going to feel responsible for the goal that you have set for yourself. Maybe it's not a friend. Maybe you feel like you need a health coach and you reach out to UCLFF Forever or one of your personal trainers and just ask them to hold you accountable. Maybe you just go to your friend and ask that person to hold you accountable. Maybe you and your friend make goals together, share them with each other, and then hold yourselves accountable together. There are a lot of ways this can be done. Like I already mentioned, UC Living Fit Forever does have a health coaching program. And even if you've taken part in it before, always feel free to reach out to your coach. Times are different now than they've ever been in the past. And maybe you just need a little extra different support. That's okay. Reach out and ask for help when you need it. And then what we already talked about regarding rewards, plan your reward. Plan what is important to you. Hey, if your plan was for weight loss, maybe you need new clothes. Maybe you want a haircut to go along with those few pounds that you've lost. Make it something that's not food that is important to you, that matters to you. Maybe you've been working out so much during this time that you really need a pedicure. Reward yourself. Make it a part of what you do. Maybe you didn't hit all your goals, so you don't have a pedicure, and you're going to try again, and you're going to try harder next week so you can hit that goal and get your reward. Make your reward contingent on what you do. Okay, so we've talked all about how to make it happen, what to do, how to think, what you need to do in the way of your fitness, why you need to take care of your fitness. So now it comes down to creating and maintaining your new routine. Your plan is written down. You're thinking about what you enjoy. Put your workouts in your daily calendar. If your goal is to work out 3 times a week, then plan for 5. Always plan more. Put it in your calendar. Things happen throughout our days. We get too busy. We get held over at work. Something comes up in the family. We suddenly can't do one of the workouts that we had in the calendar. That's okay. You cross it out. That one didn't work today. You still have 4 more planned for the week. You have not failed. You want to focus on what your successes are. You also want to make time for your fitness. If this is something you're going to do, if you have chosen to be motivated by that why, and you're going to do this workout, you have to plan it just like you plan your meals, just like you plan what time you're going to get up in the morning, just like you plan what time you're going to go to bed. You have to plan it. You have to make time for it. Put it in your calendar. Not only what day you're going to do, not only the workout, what time it's going to be, and maybe who you're doing it with so that you know that you have somebody there waiting for you. Make it doable. If you haven't worked out and done a boot camp class, a full hour boot camp class, Maybe you plan for half an hour. Make your plan doable. Although you may wish that you could run 5 miles at first, maybe you just need to walk one. Make sure it's something that you can do. Then go out and try it. Have fun with it and focus on your success. If you planned to do a yoga class and you found one online and you only did half, instead of being disappointed in yourself, choose to write it down and write it down as a success. Put a big star on there. Yes, I did yoga. Yes, I did half an hour. Take out those words like only, like should. Let's not should on ourselves. Let's pay attention to what we actually did and really be proud of ourselves for that. I know that when I first was trying to lose weight before my 100-pound weight loss, on my first day that I went to the gym, I went to Zumba. I could only do half the class. I left very frustrated, very upset, and I told my family I hated the class and would never go back. Some of you know this story, but I went back. I went back the next day and the next day and the next day, and I kept trying. I focused on my success. I let myself wallow for a moment, but I focused on the fact that I did half the class. Then I just wanted to do 35 minutes, then 40 minutes. And I started focusing on my success, and that's what let me keep going because I could see how much better I was going. Focusing on success is a huge part of staying motivated. As soon as you feel like you're a failure, it is more likely that you will stop doing those things that you have set goals for. So focusing on successes is very important. Again, write it down, plan for it, make it a priority. Just like you have to breathe, just like you have to sleep, just like you have to eat, plan your fitness as part of your natural day. If you're having a hard time, talk about your struggles. Talk about it. Don't let it be a secret. Use that person, that friend, that health coach, whoever that you've chosen to talk about your goals, to share kind of this intimate plan for yourself. Talk to them when you're struggling, when you're having a hard time. Let it out. Start back to focusing on your successes. We can't let go of our negative feelings if we don't talk about them. Be flexible. If something happens and you just can't work it into your day at that moment, see if you can work it out later. Don't just drop it. A lot of people I hear say, well, I failed at that. I didn't make it in class. But what else could you do? Could you get out and walk later? Could you take a class later? Could you try again tomorrow? Just because you didn't do it right then and there when you had it planned doesn't mean it's not possible. Be flexible. If you wanted to take a class and you didn't get to, but you get home and you got to take a walk with your family, mark that as a success. Finally, be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself. If you need a break, focus on the success of giving yourself that break and loving and being kind to yourself, because that's just as important. And finally, you're not going to do it if you don't enjoy it. Have fun with what you do. Try to make this your fitness, your own. It doesn't need to look like anybody else's. I love to dance, so that's what I do when I'm doing cardio. Sometimes we even do Zoot Camp just because Janelle feels the need to dance. Whatever it is that's your thing, whether it's biking, walking, running, swimming, whatever it is that you love, do that and have fun with it. And there are some references for you guys to check out, just some of the things that I was looking at when I put this together. It is about 12:40, so I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you guys. If you have any questions, anything you want to talk about, or you want me to clarify, go ahead and ask them now. You can also ask them on the chat if that's something, a feature that you like. So I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you guys, and if you have questions or you want to chat about anything, go ahead and just speak up or put it to the chat. And thank you so much for being here and joining me for today's Lunch and Learn.
Hi, Janelle. This is Maureen.
Hi.
And I wanted to ask a question about recovery.
Yes.
How do you, like when you're trying to build some muscles, let's say my shoulders are maybe a little weaker than I'd like them to be, and I'm trying to get strength on them and not cause an injury. And I know recovery is a really important thing. Do you just go by the tenderness in the shoulders to kind of say, okay, when the muscles are no longer tender and now it's time to do another workout? Or how do you space recovery days and workout days when you're trying to grow strength?
Mm. Well, first of all, I would say when it comes to strength training and especially beginning to strength train, I would say that it's very important to start with lightweight and more reps. That's going to kind of reduce the amount of pain that you find in your body later for regarding delayed onset muscle soreness. But I would also suggest that if you have one body part that's sore, stretch it, warm it up, but let that delayed onset muscle soreness go away before you do the same exercise. So if it's in your shoulders that you're having that pain, then I would suggest that you do maybe a core or lower body workout until that delayed onset muscle soreness diminishes, and then do it again.
Thank you, and a great talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to be silent. I'm just looking at the group chat to see if there were any questions on there that people had for me. Oh, yes, people are agreeing with the COVID-20. Nope, you're not alone. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are getting moving. You can feel free to unmute yourself. I don't think I've gotten to everybody yet. If you have any questions, go ahead and unmute and ask them while we're here. We've got about minutes left.
So I'm not able to see the questions coming in chat. Could you read them out loud if they're pertinent to us?
Yeah, some of them are private. Thank you. Everyone is really missing each other and thanking me for the presentation. Some people are still agreeing with that darn COVID-20 that they're still trying to work on losing. A lot of people still aren't back on campus. And some people are saying that even that if we do hold classes in person, they still might not be able to come into class. It sure seems like people are focusing on the ability to or not to be able to come back to class in person. And I would like to, oh, okay. Any suggestions for motivating a significant other? This one can be very, very difficult. I know that when we have a partner that participates with us, it can really increase the possibility of us moving our bodies in a way that we would like to, or really meeting the goals that we have. It's hard to get up and move sometimes when your partner doesn't. I would like to encourage you to talk about that why, to start that conversation within your relationship about what your reason why is, why this is important to you, why you want to get moving and how you want to do that, and maybe to encourage them to share with you if they were going to do something similar, what is their why. To encourage somebody else to find their own reason intrinsically is more likely than that they'll do it versus you telling them this is what we're going to do. Although you can try that for some couples, it works well. I know that when I tell my husband I am working out and you're coming with me, sometimes that's all it takes. But for it to be a lifestyle change, for that to be something that your partner wants to do with you, really they need to find their own why. And maybe you need to find a different type of partner outside of your personal relationship that is willing to do those things with you, so you still have that support. Just because we would like our partner to be the person that does these things with us doesn't mean that that's the only way. We can make changes and we can do things outside of our own personal relationships, even though it might not be the way that we really want it to work. Sometimes we just make it work the way that it does for us, and we can't always rely on other people to be responsible for what we do with our bodies or what we put into our bodies. So I would just encourage you to have that conversation and see if you can get that support at home or if you need to look elsewhere for that type of support. Yes, it can be hard to be motivated because being social can be a big motivator. I agree. That's my biggest part. A lot of you see me working out in a room alone. I love seeing you guys. I love the energy, hearing the hard breathing. That is what I love, and that's also something that I miss. I know that I have a little bit more motivation because this is my job. We do try to offer you guys the opportunity for Zoom so you can see each other. That doesn't work either all the time. I know that it's really a huge barrier right now. Just not being able to see each other and missing each other. And that's why I really encourage you to connect with someone in your office, someone at home, a friend. Maybe you Zoom in together and do a workout together. Maybe you plan together to just go for a walk. We really have to kind of look outside the box these days and make it work. Some of the gyms are opening and they already did, so maybe that's something you look into. Maybe you start working out with us. We're really looking to get back into class next month. So maybe just keeping yourself moving and maybe get motivated enough that you know your classes are coming soon, that you start working out on your own because you know you're going to be in class soon. Tips on how to overcome the barrier of not feeling like home is the place that is conducive to exercise. Yeah, we talked a little bit about this. Making a spot for yourself to work out is going to be important when it comes to being at home. Maybe you need to move things around from where they are already in order to make yourself a spot. I talked about cleaning out my garage and shed. It was a big project. It wasn't anything anyone really wanted to do, but it was really important for me to have a space at home where I can work out. I also love to go to the gym and I love to see other people. And had we not put a lot of effort into cleaning the house and really rearranging everything, I wouldn't have had a good space. And sometimes it's really about weighing that why and deciding that it is important enough for you to be able to work out at home, that you do make some major changes to the space that you live in. I know some people have moved their couch so that there's an area just behind in a corner where they can work out, and they keep their yoga mat there, and when they Zoom in, that's kind of where they do things. Some people have moved things in their kitchen so they have a hard floor. Nobody is saying this is going to be easy or that you're going to find a perfect spot. And for a lot of us, we're just not. We're just going to do our best. And if we can find a 6 foot by few foot space, that's what we use and that's what we work out in. Maybe it's just having a fan by you. One of our biggest jokes in class in Zoom is that someone usually during class will send out a chat and say, hey, could somebody turn on the fan in here? Not only do we get a good laugh, because that's kind of what we all do during class at some point is we turn on those fans, but it's also important to remember the things that you need during your workout. If you don't have a fan at home and you know that you need one when you work out, maybe you just go purchase a fan so that you have that moving air on you. If you can't work out at home or in your house, maybe there's a spot outside, out back, or at a local park where you can work out. I think the most important part about being at home is really having space. And if you just don't have that space and you just can't make that space, see if you can find space elsewhere. Yeah, to go do it outside. If you can't be in your house, then maybe you get outside. Maybe you take those homemade weights or your yoga mat and you find space in your yard or at a local park to do your exercise. I know sometimes I take my laptop and I just go outside and I follow our Zoom workouts in the park. You're welcome, Myra. We have just a couple minutes left. Susan went mountain bike riding for the first time. Oh my goodness, that sounds so fun and crazy all at once. Yeah,
so
doing
fun.
those. I hear you, Susan, go ahead.
I said it was a blast and I didn't kill myself.
It sounds like it. I've never tried that before, but I would. It sounds like a great time. Like literally mountain, like through rocks and whatnot.
Well, no, they were like mountain trails.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
hiking trails, but with a bike, and it was just so much fun.
That sounds like a great time.
I'll be at Zumba tonight, though.
Oh, great. It's going to be a party. 3 instructors all
Okay.
at once.
I miss my parties.
I know, so do I. And I think we've gotten ourselves to the point where we can have music and a speaker. So you're going to be able to hear the music and us at the same time.
Cool.
Fingers crossed. We've been working hard on it.
Okay. Well, I look forward to it.
I do too. And Sandy's saying she appreciates the YouTube videos. They've expanded her workouts as well. I'm really glad you guys are doing those.
Yeah.
We have time for one more question if anybody else had one. It is 10 till, so if you find that you need to get yourself back to work or find yourself some lunch, go ahead and do that. Thanks for being here with me, guys. You're welcome.
Thank you, Janelle. See you
You're
later.
welcome. And if you have any more questions or if you just need to chat, reach out to me at hs-uc living fit forever at ucdavis.edu. And don't forget, we still have the health coach program going. So if you do find you need support, reach out to me. All right. Yes. I hope to see a bunch of you at Zumba tonight. It's going to be a great workout. You're welcome, Jen. I miss you. I've been wondering why I didn't see you around. Yes, the slides will be available. I will put up the presentation and the video of this either later today or by tomorrow. Awesome, good. I hope to see you at Zumba. Yes.